Hey everybody, welcome back to Showverse. I am Noah Pfister, and today I'm here with another special guest. I'm here with EMMA BRANDERHORST, who is the writer and director of the upcoming Oscar qualifying short Spotless, or as it's known in the Netherlands, Vlekkeloos, right?
Yes, that's right. Very good.
Oh, thank you. I was very nervous about not getting it right. But so Spotless tells the tale of a 15-year-old girl by the name of Ruby, who is going through a bit of a difficult time as she is aware that her family is in a very tough financial situation. And on top of that, she's currently going through her period. Now, I gotta say, I had the chance to watch this a couple days ago as well as last night. And I gotta say, this has definitely been one of the more visceral and challenging experiences that I've had watching a movie. Not simply because, the subject matter is necessarily that complex, but simply
hmm
because it deals with a teenage girl going through her period, which is something that I think about only half the world can really understand. So
hmm
to really get a personal hands-on experience to actually see how something like this would play out, it was very interesting, and I'm really glad I actually got to see how, to see that side of life, even though I never really get that chance. So my
hmm
first question would be is, where did the idea for this come from?
So I'm a female director, of course, and I really like to make films about from the female perspective. And I think when I was young, there was a very big taboo on having your period or talk about your period. So when I was like 13, or maybe 12, I got my first period. And so after, sorry, I'm outside, so it's gonna be a bit of noise maybe here.
Yeah,
But
that's fine.
so when yeah, okay. So when I did my research for the film, I read an article about period poverty, and I heard that 1 in 10 women cannot always afford it in the Netherlands between 12 and 25. And when I heard those numbers, I was like, holy, this is a very big problem. And I wasn't even aware of it. So then I started digging into the subject a bit more, and then I found out that it was a very, very big problem. Even worldwide, it's a big problem. So I think that was the start for the film.
Well, that's really interesting. I'm guessing you never had that problem issues when you were younger.
I didn't know.
And one, and that is a huge, that's one of the huge subplots of the film. It's that Ruby, the main character, tries, she doesn't go out of her way to not have her mom involved, but anytime she tries to bring it
hmm
up, she just sees that her mom is just overwhelmed. We see
Yeah.
her submitting water bottles for cash. We see her going to her friends saying, hey, you have a tampon. It
Yeah.
really is, it's a relatable situation that I think a lot of people can relate to, even if it doesn't
hmm
involve periods, because having to ask for anything when you are struggling financially is
hmm
never really never really nice. But
No,
um
exactly. Yeah.
and
It's
so
also about poverty, like just living in poverty and how horrible that can be. But on top of it, of course, having your period is just something so normal. Like it's just part of our body, part when you have a, I don't know what the word is in English, but when you can make babies, like how do you say the in Dutch we say baarmoeder?
I don't know.
I don't know how to say it. Never mind. But I
It's
think it's
fine.
just a right of every woman to have a normal and hygienic periods. And because period products still seen as a luxury product, so there's 21% tax on it. It's just things are just getting crazy. So that's the point I really want to tell. Like this is just something every girl should have access to wherever you live or how old you are. Like it's just like, yeah. So yeah.
I don't mean to get too prying in terms of because every story, a little bit of the artist is put into the story, and
hmm
there are a couple situations, scenarios that Ruby does sorry about that. That Ruby does go through. And I'm wondering, has any of your life translated into any of the situations and scenarios that Ruby goes through?
I think I make very personal stories. So I think most of the things that are happening in the films are somewhere coming from my own life. It's I will always put something that is happening in my own life. Like, for example, asking the tampon to a friend. Like, that's the thing I've like I did it a couple of times, and your friends are always reacting like, again, or whatever, or they make a joke out of it. And I also think, like, not as not how do you say, like, not putting your mom in a difficult situation because you see she's having trouble. Like, I had it with my father a lot of times because I felt bad for him because my parents divorced. So I think you always put things of yourself in a script. But I have to say, I've never experienced period poverty, so I'm very glad about that. But of course, I think it's very close to my heart, but it's not that I've experienced it. That's answer on your question.
No, I get it. It's you've been through relatable experiences, but never really been in the situation that Ruby's in, but
No,
you still want to touch upon it.
no. Yeah.
So actually staying on that topic, at least, what about your lead actress, Alicia? Is that her name? So how did you and her talk about crafting the character of Ruby? Were there ideas that she wanted to explore but couldn't really go into, or there were ideas that you wanted to explore but she wasn't really fully comfortable with? Like, how did you work with her to get the performance that you got?
So she was a non-actor. So I mostly work with actors with no experience, especially the young girls I cast in my film, because I think they're super authentic. Like, they have this sparkle because they've never been on a set, so everything is new, and I think they are very, very real. But she didn't do a very good casting, I have to say. Like, it was one of her first roles, or one of her first castings ever, and yeah, she was playing a lot. But I just knew that she had this, I don't know, she had this amazing performance, and she was an amazing character just by herself. She had an amazing personality. So I thought, this is somebody I really want to shape. I really want to work with you. I really want to create this character together with you. So I think we had 3 or 4 rounds. And after doing the rounds, we rehearsed for 3 or 4 months, I think. But first of all, I just took her to the cinema. We just ate pizza together. We just became very good friends. And after that, we started talking about the script. And I never gave a script to my actors because I think then they're going to learn the script. And I hate people who know exactly what they need to do. So I really like how do you say, like, the freshness of a script and the freshness of an actor. But yeah, I took her to the food bank. I let her stand in the line with all the people, with all the clients from the food bank. We talked about having your period a lot. We talked about with other women who are having no money for period products. Like, we did a lot of research together. So I really took her into that research time. And I think that's very important because, first of all, I wanted to have an actress who experienced period poverty because I thought it was very important for the authenticity of the role. But then in the end, because there's such a big taboo on having your period still, and the second taboo is on being poor. So it's so hard to find young girls, or especially young girls, to talk about it. So I thought I should just have a good actress who can play the role very well.
Hey, well, that's actually a really good way of looking at it, because you watch the way she plays Ruby in the film, and it is about as authentic can get. You really feel every little embarrassment, inconvenience, and even the final 5 minutes, which are just brutally awkward in almost every way, shape, and form. Like, I'm not gonna just make the bold claim that, oh, this is exactly what happened to her in real life, or this is what happened to you in real life. But it's clear that that scene was made by somebody who has clearly gone through that specific scenario, and it really does show in terms of how brutally awkward it can be. And that is, I think, the biggest central theme of Spotless, which is these conversations are not only complex, they are stupidly awkward. And I know you mentioned that you are hoping that, you know, people can have more open and honest conversations about it. And that's also brings me to a different point, which is how actually did you get, so there are a couple scenes, you know, and I'm guessing, you know, you did it with cornstarch and whatnot, but like the opening almost one take where, you know, it's the opening shot of Ruby in bed and you already start seeing the she's
The
spotting.
blood.
Yeah. So how did you, like, those scenes that involve, you know, the tampons and like her having her period, how did you rehearse and like shoot those scenes?
We didn't really rehearse it, but it was just like actually I think we talked about it a lot. For me it was very important that almost all of the crew were women, because I was just very curious to have this open conversation about how do you put your tampon in. So I remember that moment very well. We were shooting the scene or putting the tampon in. It's like the first scene at the school. And then I was just saying to my DOP and to Alicia and to, I think, the art director, I was like, okay, guys, can we just rehearse how you put your tampon in? So I remember sitting on set, showing to each other how you put it in, but then we all had our pants on, of course. But it was just so nice to see, like, yeah, okay, no, I do this, and then she was like, no, I do this, and she was like, yeah, and then I put my head up, and it's like, no, you don't put your head up. So just had a very chilled conversation about it. It was just very relaxed. And I think also with the opening scene, you have her butt with the blood on it. Yeah, we just rehearsed it with different kind of underwear. I was like, yeah, when do you see the most blood? Do you have the white underwear? Do you have like a bit of see-through? And I did it myself also. So I was also lying there in my underwear together with Alicia. Like we were just because we rehearsed it. No, we became such good friends before we were shooting it. Yeah, she's like my sister. It was just very relaxed. And I think when you talk about it a lot, it's getting super easy. You don't have to rehearse things like over and over. It's just talking, and that everybody has a good feeling and that she's feeling comfortable on set. And yeah, I didn't did a very special things there. It's just make it feel nice for everybody.
That actually kind of, you indirectly answered another question I was going to ask, which was, you know, how because, you know, you talk like, okay, side tangent, but, you know, we have discussions about, you know, periods, and it's nice to hear that, you know, on set it was essentially just, all right, so what do you guys do? Well, I do this and then I do this.
Yeah.
Why the hell do you do this? I do this and then I do this. Well, why do you do that? It's really nice to hear that, because so me growing up, my dad would sometimes travel, and so sometimes I was left with my mom and my sister. And at one point, when sister started going through, you know, that special time, you know, my mom would take her out to, you know, for us, she went to CVS, you know, like the other female care stores. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there and I'm just like,
yeah.
Look, what I really liked is that this film, I think, can at least start the discussion that some guy, because, you know, for guys don't really want to hear or even talk about this sort of thing, because I mean,
why not?
because to guys it does genuinely feel like, ew, gross, this, you know, it's stupid.
Yeah.
But what I like is that I feel like this is a very good introductory way to help start that conversation, because it encapsulates all the feelings that a woman does get: embarrassment,
Yeah.
you know, and a little bit of annoyance, because the, like, even that opening shot when she's using the restroom, she looks down, she's like, ah, crap. So no, I am hoping this can lead into a broader discussion, which
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's the main point of this film, right? To have those discussions, to be able to feel comfortable enough that to go, yeah, this is an awkward thing, but everyone does it. So let's make it a little less awkward and have an open discussion about it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So with that being said, it's good to hear that the set was, not only predominantly female, but very open-minded, very discussionary.
Mm-hmm.
Were there any sort of difficulties that I mean, because as good as a set can go, as great as everyone can work with, there's always something that hits the fan that goes wrong. So what were some of those things that went wrong on set, however small or large they are?
I think we had a lot of time pressure because we shot the film in 3 days. And actually there were many more other scenes in the film involved. So I had also a whole line with her best friend, like a whole new like a whole different line in the film. Like she was having fun with her friends and doing other things outside of school, but then when you came home it was all like horrible. So but then in the edit I just find out that it just didn't work because it was just too much. So I think I wanted to shoot a lot on set, and then in the edit I just saw that I just shot way too much. So I think the because as a director, or I love to just shoot and do it over and over and over and create new scenes and improvise and blah blah. But sometimes I just let myself go too much in that, and then my producer has to say like, we're like we are getting overtime because you are gonna do it again and again and again. So for me, it's very hard to make decisions already on the set. I just love to build and create more, but then you have the time, and I hate it because I can hear it screaming in my ear like hurry, and just I think just so time was my biggest enemy on a set. And I'm thinking what else, like it's already 2 years ago, so it's also hard to really say what kind of things on set were not going that well. Oh, but maybe I have to say we had Corona. So we were shooting it in the Corona time. So that was horrible because we had this social Corona person on set who was constantly, when I came too close to the actress, she was, no, you can't. And I became like this child because I was getting so annoyed by her. And of course, I know she was having the good, she was doing it well because it was her job, but it was so annoying. And I really like to be in touch with my actors and to stand close to them and blah blah. But that was annoying.
No, I don't doubt that for a moment. The amount of story, like I have talked to a couple people who, who believe it or not had smooth productions. It was just the worst part about it was, like, hey, so what if and then it's like, hey, you're getting too close. It's like, but I need to talk to them. Okay, but stand 6 feet.
Yeah.
It becomes a little less personal. It's like,
it is.
Yeah, you're trying to do your job, but I'm also trying to do mine. And sometimes there's just a lot of pushback depending on, the COVID compliance officer and whatnot. No, that's a legitimate issue on set that thankfully
it was
has gone down the last year or so. The look of the film is something I wanted to discuss with you too, because one, it looks like it was shot in European widescreen, 166:1, which is a beautiful, beautiful aspect ratio, if I do say so myself. But also, did you shoot this on film? Because there's a lot of grain, and I
know.
But I'm guessing that was post converted. That was something that was just the look you wanted.
So I love to shoot on film, but I can't shoot on film because what I just told you, I love to create and film and film and film. And when you film on film, when you shoot on film, you have to make a very good decision before you start filming. And I just don't like that because I love to improvise. So I just love to let the camera roll. So I had this idea in my head of this film look, and then we had this amazing grader. His name is Amy. He's from Amsterdam. He's just super nice, and we created a look like very grayish with the very thick grain on the film or on the image. And I also think the buildings were all like very grayish, and yeah, we really try to wear like soft colors in clothing, and also like the art direction had to be very soft so we could create this film look. So yeah, but I'm happy that you think it was on film. So
No,
mission accomplished.
I'm usually able to like tell the difference because there's usually it's a very distinct look, and you're like, oh, this is shot on digital, but it was post converted. It was hard to tell. So props to your grader, and props to your DP too, because it
Yeah.
really was a beautifully shot movie. And I would have never been able to tell that you shot so much and had it shaved down.
Yeah.
Really goes to show the talent of a good director and a good editor, if I do say so myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank
So
you.
I am wanting to know, where can people watch this?
They can't.
Ooh.
Because it's being submitted to the Oscars now, so we cannot show it anywhere. So we have our trailer, and we have an Instagram, and we had just a screening in LA last weekend, and it's gonna be played at, I think, Chicago Film Festival, and I think it was at New York's Children's Film Festival. But it's not online yet because we are in the run for the Academy Awards.
Okay. Well, by the way, the Instagram, for those of you watching, the Instagram, all and the information, the IMDb, all that information is going to be in the link below. Please be sure to check it out. And hopefully once, if time flies by after this is uploaded, we'll have the link to the actual short itself.
Yeah.
Because this is something. Whoops, there's a lot of headroom for me. Hold on a moment. Heat up. There we go. That's a little bit better. But no, I do think this is a film very much worth watching because it has a great message, but the message is not like, it's not beating you over the head. It's just, it's presenting it to you and saying, let's talk about it. So with that being said, I would like to know, what do you think? Like, have you seen any of the other Oscar qualifying shorts just yet?
I haven't. So I'm so curious. Have you?
I've had the chance to see a couple of them. And here's the thing. I never want to compare and contrast because at the end of the day, each filmmaker whose film I've seen, it has had a drastically different experience and has something that they want to say, and this is no different. This is a clearly very personal film, with from a filmmaker who definitely has a very personalized view of it. It's an art piece. It's very subjective. Same with any other sort of film.
Thank you.
Hey, no problem at all. So moving a bit away, I want to focus more on you, which is, so after you've made this has taken up a good 2 years of your life. I'm wondering, do you have anything down the line that people should keep an eye out for?
So yeah, because I made 3 shorts now. So actually I shot a new short in France last summer. It's about a mother and a daughter who have to let go each other, because I think it's normal at a certain age you have to take a bit of distance of your parents, but those two are very symbiotic, so it's very hard for them. But they go on a road trip to France, and then at a certain point they have to say goodbye. That's a short I really wanted to make for a very long time. It's inspired on the relationship with my own mom. And so it's a really slice of life film again. It's very about the social theme. And I'm actually writing, or I'm not writing it myself, but I'm working on 2 feature films now. One I'm already doing with a writer, and the second one I'm trying to pitch maybe a little bit. Maybe I want to do it in America. I don't know yet, but I think it's just starting to roll a little bit. But I'm really looking forward to make a feature. because I love to make short films or to make short formats, but I'm ready for the next step, or at least that's the feeling I have now.
Trust me, as someone who's made a couple shorts himself, that feeling of wanting to go bigger and better it's tantalizing, and it's very, very invigorating to want to do. And if I can ask, those two feature ideas, can I ask what some ideas what they may be about, or you want to hold that close to your chest for now?
No, I can tell. It's about the first one I'm working on. It's about children of alcoholics. So yeah, it's a fiction film. It's based on two of my best friends who grew up with an alcoholic mother. So that's one. And the second, it's about girl venom. So I made a film as my graduation film about how women can be very negative about their friends, like in a friend group. They have this horrible thing between women. And I made this already for my graduation film, but now I want to expand it to a feature between a friend group.
That I think could be very, very interesting, because a stereotype that I have heard countless times is, men, oh, I hate you, oh, I hate you here. Subtext, hey man, I enjoy spending time with you. Let's keep going at it. Hey, I like spending time with you too, man. It's been great. Meanwhile, women, oh, I like your hair. I like your hair too. I hope you die. I think you're a piece of trash. It's like that's a very common joke and stereotype that I've heard countless times. But to actually really see it tackled and be very personal about it, that's something I'm very, very interested in seeing. I'm not sure which one I would want to see more, the one about alcoholic fathers or the one about the honest look about your friendships. Either way,
it's about alcoholic mothers.
Alcoholic mothers, right? Alcoholic mothers. Which I just realized I actually kind of want to see the alcoholic mother, because no, like, think about it. How many stories have you heard about the alcoholic dad when compared to the story about the alcoholic mother?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I would like to see that. I'd like to see both of them, because because you have it seems that with Spotless you have a very down to earth, very natural sort of style where you focus more on how things play out in a very natural sense when compared to like something that's thematic. So I would love to see the grounded real world view that you would take when approaching these ideas.
Me too. I'm very curious how it will go.
Like I said, wishing you the best of luck. And on that similar topic, I'd also like to know, you have these two projects that you would love to do, but do you also have any sort of like passion project or like a dream project? If you were given a blank check and someone said, I need you to make something for me, what would you make? If you could at least talk about it without wanting to give stuff away, because you're like, I'm still hoping this might happen.
No, I think the two films I just told you, I really wanted to make them, but I have many more personal stories I want to tell. So I think I don't have this very big dream or for making like a war movie or like a Marvel. Like I really don't have that. I just want it to be very close and personal. Like look at the Andrea Arnold or Noah Baumbach or Eliza Hittman. Like I just love that kind of films, and I think that will be my blank card. I just wanted to make my own movies. Yeah.
It's actually funny you bring up those filmmakers, because I actually got a very Chloe Zhao sort of style when it came to
yeah.
You've seen her work?
Yeah.
It's very, very good. I like the style that you have going. So with that being said, let's circle this up. I don't want to take any more of your time. But I am wondering, so this is going to be submitted to the Oscars. How, I always treat the Oscars a little bit like a sporting event, I mean, it's the celebration of film, but it's always, I like the little bit of like competitiveness to it. So I would like to know, you'd be a little egotistical. How well do you think your chances are with this film of like just really making that impact at the Oscars?
I think it's a very hard question. I have absolutely no idea. I think we made a beautiful film and it's doing very well. So I think our cards are good, but I've never experienced like the whole Oscar run. And I think it's also about knowing people and about being in the business and being in LA and being in the industry. And I'm not, because I'm from Europe. So I hope that the film will really speak for itself, and I hope it will be shortlisted and that the jury will see our film in the end. I think that will be my main focus for now, is just to be seen by the jury, and then hope that the film will just speak for itself. And yeah, that's the only thing I can hope for. But I really, really, really don't know. I would love to give you an answer about how big my chances are, but I just don't know. I just really don't know.
Well, hey, do you want to know what the best
So
part
fingers crossed.
the best part about what I just asked is your answer is the perfect answer. You know, it shows that you are very into the film that you made. You're very proud of it, but at the same time, you're still going to check your ego at the door, which is something I know a lot of filmmakers sometimes find very hard. So believe me, you definitely have my support. I would love to see this at least be a short list, at least one of the five that I made, because this is, for people who are watching, this is a film worth supporting. It is, considering considering just the message at the end, and considering how much of, or let's for the American viewers, for those that are a little bit close to home, this is a film that I know a lot of you would want to see, because a lot of us are dealing with some hard times right now. So I feel for some of the women watching, this will definitely be a sign that's like, hey, you're not alone in what you're currently going through. So with that being said, is there anything else you would like to chat about real quick? Or you feel like you've had
I think we had a wonderful conversation.
I think so too.
Do you have anything?
There is one more thing that I would like to know, and that is, you know what? Let's have a little bit of fun with here. Let's say you win. Who is this film dedicated to? Who are you gonna thank? Who are you gonna look out in the crowd and be like, this film was made for this person?
I think the film is made for every girl who experienced period poverty. I think that's a very, very easy question. I think or at least I hope, especially if you would be nominated or win an Oscar, that the world is gonna change and give the period products for free to every girl. I think that will be my answer.
Damn fine answer, if I do say so myself. Hey, Emma, once again, thank you so much for being with us today. It's been an
thank you for
delight.
having me. It was great.
Hey,
yeah,
not a problem at all. Spotless, or Blackalus, is currently a front runner for the Oscars. So be sure to at least check it out on IMDb. Check out their Instagram, and when the film is finally released, be sure to check it out yourself. It is definitely worth watching. I highly recommend it.
Yay. Thank you.
Hey, no problem. Emma, take care and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hey guys, I really hope you enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching.
You can check out our website for all the content we produce.
Clicking all those YouTube buttons makes it so you see more content from myself and the other amazing creators at Kai's Corner Productions. All donations help us produce more stuff like that for you.
See you guys in the next one. Peace.